If I had 0.000 about enough. So everything is so instant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that whole Busby,
The civil lawsuit was dropped, dismissed.
that shit took a lot out of me. I haven't been that angry in a long time. Anger. Like you don't put that on someone. Like that's the thing that you better be super sure. It used to be like you have to be super sure before you put those kind of things on a person. Especially a person like me. Like even when we were doing the worst things, we were doing was a line. No women, no kids. You know, you hear those sayings, but those are things that I took from the street. You know, morals, integrity, code. Those things I took because we lived and died by that. So it's
See, he's saying that, you know, that whole Bugsby lawsuit situation, incorporating him with the Diddy thing, he said he had uncontrollable anger because of that. I mean, he said he was like, you know, probably had to do some counseling because of it or something, you know? He said he had uncontrollable anger.
straight. Like it meant a lot.
I wonder how he feel about Jaguar Wright, you know? With her saying all the stuff that she's saying, oh, he probably, what?
To me, I took that really hard, and I knew that we was gonna walk through that. We gonna walk through that because you know, first of all, it's not true, and the truth is, you know, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
Right.
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just
Right.
like, all right, man.
This is the first interview he coming out with. He played enough
2026 is
defense.
all offense.
Damn. 2026 is all offense. Off with your head. Yo, listen. I'm telling you, all that shit Jaguar Wright was spitting out there, that shit coming back. It's coming back. It's about to come back to hunt. You see Jay-Z coming out. GQ interview. He not playing. Stepping out with the interview. Man, y'all hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Listen, you see him come out with this interview. He not playing. He say it's all offense. 2026 all offense. Yeah. He putting his foot in
I
it.
hear reasonable doubt.
Did you feel that way at the time, though?
No. At the time I wanted to deal. That's why I went to every single label. Huh?
Did you feel like dejected or?
I wasn't. Yes, I was rejected, not dejected.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? Like every door was, but I always believed in myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Listen
a
to
moment
him.
that I thought I'm not good enough for this industry.
Mm-hmm.
At every rejection, I thought, why do they have this guy in place? I know what's going on.
Like they're slacking. They're not seeing the vision. When you look back at that time, are there things that you're glad that you didn't know?
Yeah, of course. It's almost like if you're in the room, to the end, and you open the door and you're like, wow. And then you turn back and you turn the lights off and it was like pits and snakes. You know, your naive just naturally navigated you through the dark. And that's made up for the things that we didn't know. And it helps because you can learn so much that you just tap out. I think that happens a lot in the music business. Like people get in the music business for the right reasons and they're very passionate about it, but then it becomes mundane.
It reminds me of an old Kanye quote of something he said about you when he said, with Jay, you always see the win. What do you think he meant by that?
I think that showed the entire picture from You Must Love Me to Regrets to, you know, Soon You Understand. But the wins are so big that I can see where that can dominate a person's memory. You forget the losses.
Yeah. Or the perception.
Yeah, or that it's only wins. And then I do say I will not lose.
Well,
So I could add to the perception as well.
I was going to say you also are really good at kind of like, you have a discipline of almost like shrugging off any kind of perception of a loss. Like,
Yeah.
what's the 0 for 82? Looking crazy, like, you know?
Yeah, because it's all wins. If I had 0.1 of the nets, I won.
Or
it's like I have ownership in a basketball team in Brooklyn.
Is that something you continue to apply?
Yeah.
When, God forbid, something goes wrong, don't freak out. We can.
It's not even God forbid when something goes wrong. Something goes wrong. Everything in life happens for your greatest good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. I had to not get a deal in order to become who I am today. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like the greatest blessing of all. It was the greatest blessing that I didn't get a deal. Right? So again, everything in your life, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
You gotta turn
don't
it
skip
in.
over that.
You gotta turn it into that positive. That's what he's saying. Everything that's happening is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Stop saying why me and say why not me, because it's for the greater good of you. If you're going through a trial or tribulation, if you're going through something, it's happening for you. Yes, got you hard, but it's happening for you to better you, structure you, maybe change you in a way. Maybe the response has to be right. So he's saying some good shit now. I mean, stepping out of the woodworks, doing an interview, saying that he tired of looking like he playing defense pretty much. You know, it's time to get on the offense. I dare Jaguar to keep on spitting them lines out now. I dare Jaguar to keep on saying Jay-Z did this to me. And you know, now that Jay-Z came out with this interview, you know that the blue couch is gonna have to see what Jaguar got to say about all of this. You know, by tomorrow or the next day, Jaguar gonna be sitting down trying to talk about this interview. Y'all know it like I know it. She gonna be sitting down, probably try to get on Street Stars or whatever it is, Street, you know, and try to talk about this interview. This gonna be the first thing Jaguar respond to tomorrow morning, if she ain't already respond to it.
Yeah,
it's not happening to you; it's happening for you. So you just got to know the distinction. Everything is just how you relate to it. There's no good or bad. Shit happens.
And you know he did the Philly thing. He doing the Philly thing with the roots.
Acceptance of that concept then.
I read a lot of books earlier, Seed of the Soul, Celestine Prophecies, and, you know, all these different books. And I was picking up all these gems and jewels in a way. But I was also 26 when I came in, and I lived a lot of life in those 26 years. Marcy to Trenton, Cambridge, Maryland, to Newport News, Virginia. I met all people in all sorts of situations. Mm-hmm. And I came out without a scratch. Never been to jail.
3 shots never touched me.
3 shots never touched me. I came out unscathed. It was very rare. And I was always curious after that. Once you reach that part, like I've had the living, and now I'm like, man, why did that happen? I'm always questioning, like, why did that happen? Why did it happen now?
I bet you they got a lot to say about that. We listening to Jay-Z's GQ interview. You know, he's coming out. He's saying he's done playing defense. Damn. Might have to get some to drink. So you just gonna keep on spamming what you doing. Okay. Cool.
I want to ask you just a little bit about A Written Testimony, specifically. It was the most recent release. I think it came out like right before the pandemic started. So
yeah,
you guys
like
didn't talk about that much. The day.
Yeah, my favorite verse is off that just jumbled track. Yo, I love that track. It's so noisy and just so unorthodox. Flux capacitor.
You know what's funny about that? I don't know if you remember this. You and I were emailing. Said this verse is crazy even if it's off beat.
Yeah.
And you said that off beat was the point champ, and I was like, well, what can I say to
that? Yeah. Sometimes you need to sit in the pocket. It's always
7 years ago. Like, how old was this kid?
Over the thing anyway. It's always hanging to the last moment, and it's like, Because sometimes I try to fit a lot of words into like a small space. Then that last word just like get in the door.
Sticking with a written testimony, you have a couple of verses on it I really like because they kind of speak to what's going on with you in a broader sense in the culture, like on Universal Soldier, I think it is, when you said that you don't keep the same energy for the DuPonts and the Carnegies.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to talk a little bit about this idea of like you said earlier, like the things that you do for the culture, the ways that you put on, the ways that you try to protect and move forward, but kind of the pushback that you get sometimes. Capitalists at you and a derogatory.
I think in that verse specifically, the only thing I heard coming up was the American dream until we started being successful. It was like, wait a minute, you're selling out because you're making money. That was the first thing that was put on musicians. People had this law of struggling artists. That's a mind game, what we would call back in the day for tricknology. And I'm not going for that. Like, no, I make art first, and then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I ain't taking no one. That's not my reputation.
Right.
That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in like a capitalist structure.
Is that? I wonder if they're going to talk about, or if about the whole, situation with the old boy who said he, like that, There's a lot of questions that probably went unanswered or unasked in this type of interview. Knowing like all the things that he has going on, maybe, I think opening up, looking at it, I think there might be some new business endeavors that might be, Jay-Z might be looking forward to, so on and so forth. So, we're just now coming into the spring of, 6, the new year's just now beginning. So coming out right now is like opening up the door to promote something. I don't know what it is, but he's definitely about to promote something or another. Is he coming out now talking about some, we played enough defense, it's time to play offense now? 2026, all offense? Man, we got to see what he coming with.
Exists, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist,
This interview already got battle rappers like speaking, like saying, oh, even though he was speaking about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, right? The battle rappers are still like, they're on edge right now saying that, Jay-Z said that battle rap was bad for the culture. So all the battle rappers is taking that way out of text, because I think he was just speaking about like the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, the beef that's in the industry, not like Smack DVD or, that type of battle rap. I think he was talking about beefing in the industry, look at the Tupac and Biggie thing, I think he was more so talking about that, underlining that factor. But I think, oh man, I was listening to, they seem to be outraged by this. I mean, they are outraged that Jay-Z made this statement about battle rap being bad for the culture.
It's not idealistic. People speak the world how they want to see it. You're never going to win like that.
You said something just now, though, about you pushing independence, right? Kind of like in the spirit of Prince. When you embody that, do you feel like you are kind of setting a mold or leading a charge for like what the successful black man is allowed to do?
Bringing up Prince,
breaking these spaces, breaking these confines.
Yeah, I even want you to take that out of your vocabulary.
Take what?
Allowed. You know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to do anything. For someone to allow you, they have to have authority over you. Mm-hmm. No one has authority over us. We exist like everyone else here. No one can allow us to do anything. But that question comes from a real space. And I want to eliminate all those type of words. Yeah. Yes. So the answer to that is yes.
When you're on a mission to eliminate words like allow, like you said.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that makes you a target sometimes from
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure, for sure,
Absolutely.
100%. What's the Nipsey thing? Pray for me, y'all. One day I'm gonna have to pay for these thoughts. Real niggas just think it ain't safe for me, my dog. These are real fucking lyrics.
You've come back to that a lot in the last few years. Like
Yeah.
the more I reveal me, the more they will kill me. Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Whatever the threat to, however the system is set up to keep things at status quo
Mhm.
and keep us in a position of using words like allow.
Mhm.
So anyone that's culpable in creating the system that we operate under, that's they.
Yeah.
That's they.
Yeah.
Because I've encountered that a lot. I've encountered that a lot where it was just like, okay, this successful black man make it. Let me go to him.
Yeah.
And for help. And they're like, we don't fuck with no rap shit.
Oh wow.
Not like the energy. It's like you see the energy.
I was thinking about how you described last year as being angry and for the first time in a while. Yeah, I wondered what it felt like to be pulled back into that feeling
lawsuit.
and how you pulled yourself
That
out.
Diddy lawsuit,
you leaned on
man.
the people around you.
Yeah.
I've been saying to pull.
Yeah, I needed the people around me more than ever. Because usually when I have the feeling, I would just make music and just be therapeutic. I'll be able to, I'll blow it out.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I'll move on. I had this. Luckily, I had that. And right, again, built this circle of people that really love me, not using, and like, really care for my best interests. So I was able to have time, the most crucial time for me.
Yeah.
Especially people that were close to me, and I'll explain.
I mean, that whole, Busby situation probably had to be real crucial, being linked to that, coming after the R. Kelly situation. You got to think when the R. Kelly situation hit, Jay-Z was just doing the best of both worlds with R. Kelly. You know what I mean? It was hitting too. Best of both worlds. That joint was jumping. I got 1 million on the Fox, whatever. Let a nigga know, best. Him and R. Kelly was kicking it. I thought R. Kelly was about to become a rapper when the best of both worlds came on. R. Kelly was like, I got 1 million on the top, let a nigga know. I was like, oh shit. Let me walk with me talking to you. Yeah. For my dogs on the tops that said we wouldn't make it, and it's still from the bottom, and from the basement. We miss y'all. Yeah. I was like, damn. R. Kelly coming like that. But yeah, and that's when R. Kelly went down during that time, and then, now you have Diddy going down, and to be tied to that, I can say that probably was a lot, on him. Busby putting that in there. Probably wanted to crash out, or respond,
So, like, when those type of things happen, people run. They don't care. Save yourself.
Yeah.
So I have partners. I've had big deals with, I called my guy from LVMH, hey, man, this is coming, and I can't get rid of it. I can't take a settlement.
Yeah.
DNA. First, I had to tell my wife. Let's just back up.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't even in me. I couldn't I know what this is, the weight that this is going to bring on our family. I can't do it. The makeup, I would die.
DNA.
It would have been cheaper, yes. Cheaper, quicker. Yeah. Move on with your life. Because people know me. Like, I know who you are, and that's impossible. And not only we standing by you, but what do you need?
Yeah. What did you kind of do to come back from that personally or emotionally, I guess?
That's a great question. I'm still dealing with that.
I can only imagine, because that's a hard thing for somebody to put that on you, for that to be put on you. That's a tough one right there. I would probably answer that the same way. Like, emotionally, you never get over it because that statement was made about you, however you look at it. But, in the world, you have to push past it. But I think you still struggle with it on the inside, you know what I mean? Because it's like the way people just throw certain things on people, the way people just put things out there. Like, that's why I said, some of this do in this world, it's like unhumane, you know? Um, I want to see where this leads. I want to see where this goes. Like if people, start coming out more about Jay-Z, or do they, like, you know what I mean? Like, how does this, what direction does this go in? With being in the Jaguar right sector, with her speaking so heavily against, Jay-Z and everything like that. I want to see like how the response goes with all of that, everything that's happening right now. It's just going to be funny because find that Jay-Z's the and all of that, I guess all of that got to resurface, don't it?
What was it like watching Blue come into her own even more on this most recent tour?
That was amazing. Because on the first tour, there was a lot of conversation around her first performance, and she worked really hard to get to that point, but she still wasn't going for it. She still was like going through the motions, and then after that, she just started going for it. Like, she started fighting back. I saw her fight, maybe her life, like fighting back. Like, not everything is just given to her and everything is easy. She had to fight for that, and she fought. Then to see her do the amount of work, she's almost on every. Take her off physically or something. I'm like, man, you can't be on that stage where she's singing, 6-inch heels. You crazy? That's never gonna happen. Like, it was like that. It was like a fight.
Sure.
She wanted to dance every number, and that's a lot of choreography to remember. She was 13 at the time. That's a lot, and she was nailing it. She was going crazy.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Like, Blue was a crazy pianist. Get her like a teacher. She don't want to be mentored to feel just like fun. She don't want it to be a job. But when she has a perfect pitch. Anything. If she hears a song, she'll be like, play it again, and then she'll play it.
Oh wow.
Like, she'll teach herself. She'll find it, and then she's off playing it. That's just talent. Because we tell her, like, that's not normal, right? And she's just like, no, I just want to play. I enjoy playing. Let me just play. So she doesn't work at that. She worked at this, and, it makes me proud that she fought for something that she really wanted to do.
That will have to be a good thing for any, parent to see their child grow into their craft, grow into, what it is that you want them to be, or what, liking what it is that they're becoming is one thing, but I know, like, to have that time, that freed up space to just try stuff, whether it be, ballet, whether it be, like, it was at one point our parents actually believed in us, to where as though they was supporting us, after school activities, softball games, whatever it is that we thought we wanted to do. Some parents was putting their kids and supporting, culinary arts and all of that stuff. It was great, And then somewhere down the line, with inflation and the price of life and living going up, stop putting as much into the youth. Stop putting as much into activities. Stop putting as much into the craft of, creating and building character. We come a long way, but we also along the way, if that makes sense.
I think we're gonna be able to get off that stage now. I don't know.
You pop out like when you want to. You record when you want to. Like, you're not in that that stricture.
Yeah, I think 404 released a lot. Although it's the hardest album for me to make, still hard to. I can't even listen to 444 because it's so. It's the album that I was always afraid to make.
Let me
You
go
know what I mean?
back
Like
and
you
listen
think
to
about
444.
like, man, I want to make an album like just like pure and just like vulnerable and just like the real interior thoughts. You know, not like this Superman, like this mythical figure.
So it's interesting for you to like pinpoint that because, like we were saying earlier, the last time you did one of these like kind of real sit downs was around 444 when that had like just happened and just come out. So I'm curious now, like, it's been some time since that and how you've kind of evolved with those changes and going through that door, like you said.
I'm super proud of the work that I've done and put in, and to be able to do that in front of the whole world.
Yeah.
Like most people, they get to, go through their things, very privately, live every night. It was so healing. 444 to like everything is love. That's a real chapter in life that it got recorded.
Everything is love. You're rapping like really like there's some crazy verses on there where you're just like flowing nuts. Like friends and nice, like
thank you. And I'm a fan of in the studio. She can hear like 8 months prior and be like, what happened to that drum that was, remember that song? I'm like, no. And she'll pull out a drum sound that's like needed for that moment. You know what I mean? Like, she's a great producer. So when you're around that type of talent, it's just like, again, you're in that type of energy, people bring music. So those verses were just crafted because we were just having a good time.
Are in a real creative zone too right now. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like the last couple albums she's put out, I've noticed your name in the liner notes a lot too. Like, I can kind of picture you like in the studio flowing like Unicorn is the uniform you put on,
Yeah, but again, it's that energy. Like I know she's trying to accomplish, and anything that I can contribute. I mean, for my family, first of all,
You see, he keep referring to that energy, right? That's why I keep on telling people, like, when you're like on a frequency with someone and y'all are both passionate about the same thing, like, it will put you in a different, euphoria, if you would say, because you're both, both of your intentions is on the same thing, and whether it is being the best, being the greatest, being number one in your craft, whatever it is, you just put your intentions on it, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, right? A lot of people are scared to invest in themselves. They're scared of failure, you know? A lot of people see, other people doing stuff and they're like, man, I had that same idea, man. The same thing, man, you know. But really, that, you have to believe in yourself in this world, You have to trust in yourself. No matter if you fail, like, especially when it comes to trials and tribulations, like, everything is a test, even if you fail, there's a lesson in failure, so you just try it. Even if you fail the next time, you know better the next time, and so on and so forth. And that's 9 times out of 10, it works better that way. You just try it, If it works, it works. If it don't, hold on, let me put a different backdrop up so people can see. Let's try this one. All right, that might be better.
it was super boy and a challenge and fun to be in the room.
Does that give you some of your own creative spark to get back to your own zone and get the pen out?
It actually does the opposite.
Really?
I'm actually fulfilled in that space. You know what I mean? Just to be like, a small cog in that wheel. I'm getting out that creativity. But again, I was just so like heavy. And I don't know how to make music that's not reflective of how I'm feeling at the moment. It would have been fiery, but I don't know. I don't know if it's done more harm than good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Because, I have a lot of like scratch ideas and they like all bad. I gotta be honest. They're bad. It's just like all bad.
The streets really wanted you on that Clips album.
Yeah, I was close. I was close. But I think if I think the first thing that I say, it has to be said from me.
You can't be like
I don't want to be so rigid with it though. I'm gonna keep that open. I'm gonna take that back. But at that moment, I was like, yeah, I want to do something, but in order for me to move forward, I got to get this shit out. I got to get it out.
When we're talking about putting on for the culture, what does it mean to you to be at the helm of a cultural event so important as the Super Bowl?
I think everyone should experience music in its totality. And for a lot of years, it was only one side of music that was being represented.
Yeah.
And we got the opportunity to create a more balanced idea of what popular music is today.
Yeah.
I'm not going out on a limb. It's just the most famous people in the world.
Statistically supported.
It's like I'm not like, I didn't pick like the indie artist that I really like from Portland. The number one streamed artist in the world. Him.
It's crazy that I think last year was still like the first solo rap act, which is crazy to say that last year was that. Was that a hard one to get across the board?
Not without conversations that was like dated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, the stats show Kendrick broke the audience record.
Yep.
It's not rocket science. It's like this is the music of our time. And it should be represented on the biggest stage because these are some of the, I'm not saying they're the only artists, right? Obviously, other artists would be offended.
Yeah.
But I think that was the right choice.
As a rapper, first and foremost, and being one of the pillars of contemporary rap, I would have to imagine that you got a special kick out of watching that show, though, in particular.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I thought it was brave. I thought what he did was brave, and it speaks to who he is as a performer.
Mm-hmm.
He could have made it a little easy on himself.
Just aesthetically and like what the
No. Aesthetically, it was beautiful. It was flawless. The artistic choice to play
the new album
was a choice, and brave in front of that big of an audience. Because even if 10 million people know some of these songs, there's 120 million people that's like, what is he doing? And as an artist, to stand up there and do it and complete your vision was like, I had to tip my hat. Like, I have a high respect for him already.
Mm-hmm.
But like even more of my respect was like, he's really about what he say he's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to ask you this only as a participant, and
you don't have to give a disclaimer first.
Well, I'm just saying, as someone who was part of probably the genre's biggest rap beef.
Well, until now.
As a spectator, what did you think of the 2024 back and forth between him and Drake?
I'm gonna have an answer you're not gonna like.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna like us. That's presumptuous. I think that look, there was 4 pillars of hip hop. There are 4 pillars of hip hop, right?
Yep.
Okay, so here's the part. Here is the part that got people. I think this is the part where he speaks about battle rap and the culture. He's saying that there's, 4 pillars of hip hop, so on and so forth. So we about to hear what those 4 pillars are. And we also about to hear him say some controversial stuff. But like I said earlier, I think he was more so pertaining it to rap beef as far as the industry rap beef go. Like battle rap, you have battle rap, but then you have battle rap in the industry. which is like beef. You know, you remember Biggie came out with "What's Beef," you know, and all of that. I think he's talking about that part that's in the culture. Now, he could be talking about, I mean, I could see why battle rappers are taking it very, very offensive. I can see why they're, saying, he's trying to cancel battle rap. I can see that.
And breakdancing.
Yep.
And it's graffiti.
Yep.
There's DJing and battling.
Yep.
Breakdance is not at the forefront of rap anymore. It's actually an Olympics sport. So that's dead. Graffiti.
Yeah.
Beautiful. In certain places.
Yeah.
And even in major art and Keith Haring.
Yeah.
And Basquiat, actually, a street artist.
Yeah. Basquiat,
took it to the next level. It's not part of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
DJing. The DJ was in the forefront. It was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Right, yeah.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Yeah.
You don't even know the DJ for half of the artists anymore. Who's Drake DJ? I have no idea. Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
That no longer exists. And the last pillar is battling. We love the excitement. And I love the sparring and the music you get.
Mm-hmm.
But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it. They almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes. No matter what he says. And it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth. Where the fallout lands, especially on on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't like that. Maybe I've grown in a space that is probably I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. But I think we can achieve the same thing. As far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing. And, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
Now it's just like every day they're just trying
they're still talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back.
Yeah.
And we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm going to say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Interesting.
I have this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate it. It's just how I feel about it.
Well, it even kind of extended to you.
I don't know if battling needs to be a part of the culture anymore. That's a big statement. That's a big word. I don't know if battling needs to be a part of the culture anymore. I can see why Loaded Lux and them is responding to this. I can see why all of them are responding to this. Like, yo, did you hear what Jay-Z said? I can see why Joe Buttons and them are responding to this. I can see why everyone is responding to this particular part. I mean, up into this part, you can just say like, that was a very nice, wholesome, connection. But someone who came up in the battle rap era, with when Biggie was rapping, when he, came out with DMX, on the backstage tour when he came out with even coming up with the Locks and D Block when they was going against Rockefeller. You had Cameron beefs. You had, man, remember they had the whole Rockefeller state property. Like they had too many battle beefs albums, that helped them come up.
Right, because
I don't think he would have a career if it wasn't for that. Like if it wasn't for that beef battle era, like Jay-Z would not be.
Did a personal thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing the side and he's he's not.
Like I don't have, what do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like not just me. By the way, they drag everybody in it. Like everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But like, what the fuck? Like what? I'm fucking Jay-Z. or due respect to him. I'm fucking home. Do respectfully.
Or
like for what?
Okay. Okay, Jay. Okay, Jay. Jay-Z said, "What do I care about those two dudes? You know what I mean? Like these, you know what I mean? I'm Hove. You know what I mean? Like respectfully, I'm the Jigger Man. You know, I'm the Jigger Man."
But to what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be like these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
Before you had anything to do with it.
For a while.
Yeah.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yep.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. That happened, the Lexington TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Mint Fleek, what is the Mint Fleek slugs in your hat, right?
It was slugs in your hat. It was a bunch of like little things that led up to that point. And then when it happened, I actually regret that. I really like Nas. He's a really nice guy.
But also to your point, like I remember I was like 10 or 11 when that happened. I was like,
pick a side.
Well, I was on your side.
Yeah, I can clearly.
But my position was I can't go out and buy Stillmatic or ask my parents to buy Stillmatic. Yeah. But I'm gonna borrow it and burn it because I can't deny one mic. You know.
Like I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I ain't supporting them.
Word.
Yeah.
See,
so it's almost kind of like
that's how it was back in the day. Like back in the day, it was like you knew who you rock with, and you'll go out and buy their album, and then everybody else you would just like hear from other people or burn it or copy it. You know what I mean? Like the people who you really supported, you go out and get their album. You know what I mean? You go out and buy their album. However, you go. You know what I mean? But like especially when the battles was going on, like there was so many battles going on when Freeway came out, when Cassidy came out. Man, 50 Cent came out from underground with the Rob the Industry. Mobb Deep. There was so many people that came up during that beef era of rap.
The same independence that you carry versus like
right back to the
just
beginning.
Being like you're signed to me.
Yeah. And we're gonna curate your career in this sort of way.
Yeah.
I never was comfortable with that anyway.
With being
an artist's expression should be their expression. Mm-hmm. I really fall back. That's what I think what happened with Cole. Like just the narrative around Cole is that we didn't love Cole. No, we believed in him enough to let him find his journey.
Yeah.
And he found his path. It took him a minute.
Yeah.
But he found his way.
Was that something that you had to learn yourself though too? Because Cole will tell the story about how like you wanted to sit him with Stargate and maybe think about that single.
Yeah, I was giving him a chance to take his talent and show it to the most people possible.
Yeah.
But his way. I didn't force on it. Say, here's this record from Stargate, and you putting it out like I forced Bleak to make men bleak. It like, no.
I mean, I think that works.
Like my little brother, but he has to listen to me. You know what I mean? But like for J. Cole, he has to find his own direction, and I'm gonna give him the tools.
Yeah.
I mean, we made big records with Stargate. They made humongous records, and on Rihanna and blah blah blah, and even I think they made the Wiz Khalifa Black and Yellow.
Yep. Yeah.
Biggest songs in the world.
Yeah.
You don't want to go see it? Fine.
All right.
You know, so I'm gonna present that, but I'm not gonna make him do it.
Yeah. What is your relationship with Cole like these days?
Obviously, there's things behind the scenes with, you know, you know, audits and shit like that gets complicated.
Yeah.
But I think given a chance to prove that you're above board is an opportunity.
Word.
So I don't have any negative feelings for him. I'm actually super proud of him and what he's done.
It sounds like you're still, like, when you came in, we were talking about the mixtape, like you're still engaging with the work as a fan, too.
Yeah, Clue sent it to me, actually.
Oh, word?
Clue, not Cole.
Yeah?
He sent it to me, because he's proud, right?
Yeah.
Think about Clue. Like, he have, like, a resurgence behind it.
Yeah. I want to go back to this idea we were talking about just doing things the right way, even when that comes to, like, attaining wealth and continuing to amass wealth.
I think, like, I don't know, can y'all see, you know, Jay-Z sitting down with Shannon or sitting down with Kaepernick or something like that? I mean, not Kaepernick, Cam. Can y'all see him sitting down with Cam or sitting down, you know, with, you know, Shay or anything like that? Like, do y'all think that's going to be an interview that we'll see? Like, if he is promoting something, if he do got something new up his sleeve, if he is going to do, like, you know, a collaboration thing or some type of big album, like, I think he has something up his sleeve. I think something might be coming, you know, especially with everything going on. I think he want to, you know, if you would say, just sharpen his tools just to see if he still got it, just to put something out there to see if he can still, you know, rock the mic, it would say. You know, I think he would try, you know.
We're talking about B-sides. One of your illest lines to me is, face to the ceiling, race to a billion, heaven on earth, will his wings still fit him? So,
yeah.
Like, what's the answer to that question? Is it a constant struggle to maintain?
Your morality defines who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not what you've attained. It's not a dollar amount that changes you.
Yeah.
And if so, what is that dollar amount?
Mm-hmm.
When does it start? Is it 100,000? Is it 150? Like, at what point, if it's a cutoff, if it's like all millionaires are bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So at 999,000, I'm good. It can't be that way, right? It doesn't make any sense. The system is set up against me, against us. But I'm talking about my specific struggle.
Yeah.
Everything was against me. My talent, not taking advantage of people, not taking advantage of a system, not creating tax loopholes, not just taking from other people. No, my talent pushed against all the headwind. And with that success, I've done things with my reach that I wanted to do that was helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And with the system that we have, what are you going to do? Because I don't believe in that the idea that someone has a certain amount of money, it defines their personality.
Mm-hmm. So when you have, like, an example like that versus, like, the kind of, I would say, commonplace public perception that someone would say all billionaires are bad or no one should have $1 billion. Like, what's the tension in that?
I got to give you the honest answer.
Please.
There's no tension.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you You can believe what you want to believe.
Word.
You know, people behave the way they want to behave.
Mm-hmm. You was who you was before you got here.
Was who you was before you got here. That's the makeup of your person. You're going to believe what you're going to believe, and you're going to behave the way you behave.
You're looking at a year that you defined to me as all offense. And, you know, you said that you made scratches and it sounded kind of like fiery and maybe not anything you wanted to put out. So it made me wonder, like, what are the hallmarks of a great Jay-Z album right now? Like, what are you trying to put out there that you would want to put out there?
I don't know yet. I don't know. But I know that we have enough negativity currently.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what I need to create currently that's gonna like fulfill me.
Okay.
And make me happy, because that's most important.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever that feeling is, will vibrate and like, touch people in a way.
Can we expect like some chakra, some like what can we expect out of Jay? Like what would be like if he's saying like he's taking a different approach? I know it's not gonna be like a gospel album, but can we expect like a spiritual, like some sort of like
honestly. And maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm stopping myself from just creating,
Mm-hmm.
trying to create something that people like.
Yeah.
Truth
is
pill?
where I think a lot of artists get jammed up.
Right. Overthinking it?
Yeah, they just try to make,
or reverse engineer it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, they love the feeling of that white hot feeling of when they was it felt new.
Yeah.
And that newness, trying to create that, is where they get jammed up, because you don't know slang, and you don't think it's sad. It's like it's cringy. Like, nah, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Make your type of music. Because you ain't doing what you saying you're doing. I'm not doing the same thing I was doing in '96.
Yeah.
So you need to make that any type of music that approaches that would be embarrassing, because it's not authentic.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta make something timeless that I really love, and that's really honest and true to who I am.
You once said to the Russian billionaire that you were doing business with, I think with Nets or Barclays, Mikhail, and you were saying how he showed you that, like, you both stayed at the same hotel, and you were on one floor, and you thought you were staying on the highest floor, and then he revealed that there was an even higher floor that he stayed on, and that lesson to you was that there's always a higher floor to climb. So I wanted to check back in and see if you still feel that way. Like, do you feel like you've reached the highest floor, or there's still floors to climb, and what the next however many years looks for you?
Yeah, they're more stuff because I thought the highest floor in the building was the end of it, right? The next step is like owning the building. No, you're staying at my hotel.
That's hard.
I think in that way, if we just stay childlike and stay curious, there's always going to be another level.
Damn, that's crazy. Jay-Z GQ interview.